Hey everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. We're going to continue on with the Ether Revolt legendaries. To build this one, it's I don't know. Yahenni just spoke to me about just killing lots of things, and that's what we did. So, um, first to start off with, yes, there are a few cards. We are playing mono black, so we're going to go ahead and get these out of the way. These are typical cards that if I'm playing mono black, it's going to be hard for me not to include these in the deck for some reason or another. I mean, they're just good. Now, that being out of the way, what I tried to focus on was killing creatures. Now, I did not intentionally build this as I was not trying to go tribal. And there are quite a few creatures that aren't of the tribe, but I mean, some of these vampires are just really good. I mean, Butcher of Malakir, that's really strong. I'm gonna try to angle this back, but that glare is fixing to get us. Sorry about the angle, guys. I'll admit, I'm giving this guy a little test drive. Hadn't played him yet. 2-mana death touch is nothing to sneeze at. But that's what led me down the road. Is we are playing mono black. Our general is a vampire. Seems pretty good. Oh, and by the way, this particular card here is the reason why I'm justifying the 2 sack lands in this deck, simply because it's pretty unfortunate when that top card is not a black card. All of my tops are in use, or else I would have a top or a scroll rack, something like that. Now, you know, Blood Artist is also a vampire. I'm even kind of using this guy for targeted removal. He's kind of neat. Level him up a couple times, and he's decent. The problem with level up, though, is God, I wish they'd made level up like the Figure of Destiny. We'll get through the rest of the creatures. Since we are intent on killing things, White of Precinct 6 is amazing. It's actually amazing in decks when you're not intent on killing things. The amount of mill that is out there right now, hats off to Alter the Brood. I mean, it is a great card, and it's found a home in about damn every deck that I play against. Everybody's got an Alter the Brood. I mean, so much so that in my local meta, I am actually, if I can run green, I'm running a Gaia's Blessing. And all of my Eldrazi gods are in use. It's that prevalent. Anyway, it does kill a creature. It is a vampire. Of course, I gotta have the Nighthawk and the Planeswalker Killer, of course. Or hey, if I just want to make an unholy alliance with somebody who's got a Dark Depths, there's that too. Now, if I've done damage, the turn I want to play my general, Bloodthirst is not a bad thing to do. Now, the Imposter really, I know it doesn't trigger because it's an exile instead of a destroy, but the fact that our general puts +1 counters on him, and the Dark Imposter can get that whole sack of creature to regen thing. We have got, since I was going, okay, I got to justify this one because this is where my old school kind of takes in. She doesn't, yes, she's a vampire. She doesn't really contribute to the deck that much. I mean, she's got what they used to call the vampire ability, the singular vampire ability, which really isn't that great on its own. But the fact that she's flying first strike haste with that 3/2, yes, she dies to literally everything. but it's freaking Miri as a vampire, so I had to do it. Of course, roll assassin. I mean, if you want to dependably kill some creatures, Necropolis Regent. Now, when Halo Hunter came out, they gave us Halo Hunter, the same set they gave us Baneslayer Angel. And everybody, this card was like one of the cheapest rares of the set. But everybody's like, because it's useless against Baneslayer Angel. But you know what? There's a ton of angels out there, people. And there's many times when my opponents had a Platinum Angel that I would have loved to have drawn a Halo Hunter. Of course, obviously, we're killing creatures, so we got to have the Gear Holt. And I really kind of like the Bone Splitter there. I think this is the only energy card that I'm running. And to be honest with you, I should probably take it out. I had a whole bunch of more energy cards earmarked, and I think I talked myself out of it. But to be honest with you, this is my spot. This is my one spot where if I can locate another grave pack, because I'm all out of grave packs right now. They're all in use. Just imagine this is a grave pack, people. Speaking of which, we'll get to the enchantments here. Phyrexian Arena is just an awesome, awesome card draw. Grave Peril can really, really affect a board state for a couple of turns because, hey, the next thing out dies. And Sadistic Glee is almost Yahenni's ability that you can put on something else or on him and make him really big, really quick. And since he is really big, really quick, of course, we're gonna go ahead and protect him. We've got Mask, we've got Cloak. Cloak also gets in there for some general damage too, and we got the boots. Now, I run Charcoal Diamond. This represents all of my ramp. I mean, it's black. We're not dealing with a ton of expensive stuff here, so never gonna get into the Grimoire of the Dead, the Book of the Dead. You spend a couple turns studying the book, and you get all the dead things back. Yeah, that's awesome. If they let it go down. Now, obviously, you're killing stuff. However, we'll come back to the Book of the Dead. Well, here, we'll just do it. I've got two cards that diametrically oppose each other. I am telling you they are the exact opposite. Now, it's just two cards, the Book of the Dead and Planar Void, simply because they're both really good in their own right. In EDH, we're talking 100-card decks. We can actually afford a little bit because, let's face it, Planar Void shuts down a ton of decks. A ton of decks. We are talking about the largest format, so most of the time, people's graveyards are, as I've said before, just an extension of their hand. While we're in artifacts, of course, we got to have what I'm going to call Yahenni's Blade, because let's face it, it's amazing on him. The Universal Solvent I have in here, yes, it is kind of expensive, but dang it, Black does not have a dependable way to get rid of artifacts and enchantments. That being said, the Universal Solvent fills, yeah, it's 8 mana to do it, but at least it's not 8 mana, pay 10 life, sack your board, cut off your left. No, I mean, it's just straight out mana for destroying that enchantment that you can't deal with. Karma's got to go. Portcullis, I really kind of like this interaction here, simply because of the amount of removal that we are running. If I can get one of those creatures that are out, if I can just play Yahenni before Portcullis, then I can start popping creatures, and as long as I leave one random non-threatening creature out there in Yahenni, I can pretty much control the board for creatures. Yes, there is a lot of artifact hate out there, but this could be fun. I've been looking for a way to control the amount out there without just. I do have some board wipes, but I really like portcullis. I also really like giving my general shadow. I like shadow, but the problem is it is its own asset and drawback at the same time, because if your creature just inherently has shadow, then it can't block normal creatures. Doubt the Embrace answers that, and the fact that, hey, when I want to swing in for some general damage, I can get my general shadow and it's all good. I am that guy. There are so many white cards that screw up this entire deck. I am that guy. Gloom is, I mean, here again, we're talking about mono black, so. And Tainted Ether, I also think, does not get a ton of love. Also, kind of like the ether in the name, you know. That's actually what led me to this card. But whenever a creature comes into play, they got to sack a creature or a land. Now, that's powerful. Because people don't, I mean, this will, just Tainted Ether alone will choke a board state. Because yes, if you've got the player who's making tokens, they have no problem with it. But everybody at the table's not going to be doing that. And sacking creatures or lands every time you get a creature is not. I've seen this coupled with like Terastodon for some ridiculous things. But now let's get to the sorceries. Obviously, we have to have his expertise. And I mean, I've got to do it. It's a great card anyway. -3/-3. Obviously, we've got -4/-4. And I really like the Killing Wave simply because I can pay for Yahenni and let everything else die. I don't give no shit. Running Befoul. I know Befoul's a little sketchy, but I wanted a slot, kind of a multi-purpose slot. Yes, I want to kill creatures, but there's a lot of lands out there that just mess me over too. So, Innocent Blood, of course, Diabolic Tutor, Crux of Fate. Now, repeat after me. Sadistic Sacrament costs 10 mana. It costs 10 mana. I have never cast this for 3. I never have. I don't want to say I never will, but you know what? In EDH, that 10 mana is not that hard for us to do. It really ain't. Even in this deck without a cage or a gauntlet or anything, it's 15 cards. 15 cards is nuts. That can completely cripple any deck. Pick up your deck. Pick out the best 15 cards. Take them out. Set them aside. Now, is your deck a deck? Dang. It's hard. Anyway, let's push these down so we can get to our removal now. Obviously, if we're going to have the Ruinous Path and the Hero's Downfall, because like I said, options are good. Creature or Walker. Doomblade. It's hard not to run a Terror. For me, anyway, because I love me some Terror. The Tragic Slip, which, that morbid ability in this deck won't be hard to do. The Ultimate Price, of course, just the normal stuff like Murder, Hitterus, and go for the throat. Hitterus? Hell, I'm pronouncing it wrong. And why not? Black Path, or Black Sword, or whatever the hell they're calling this nowadays. Fatal Push. Love Fatal Push. Of course, I believe, everybody in the world loves Fatal Push. I don't know that we needed another destroy target creature spell, but that's what we got, and I'm loving it. And this does fill a valuable role in a lot of decks. I like the ability to choices. You know, I can see some interesting interactions here since this is an instant with the Dark Imposter. If somebody tries to kill it and, you know, cool things. Make obsolete. Love that it's just your opponents, and I love it's all your opponents. It's not target player, so that's neat. Now, this is also pretty neat. I really kind of like this one. They sack a rock, and then I got a hair floating in the camera, don't I? But that is what I've got. Of course, for Yahenni, obviously I have a ton of lands. I'm running, obviously, Spawning Pool, Romano Black to Blighted Fin, and the two cycle lands there. So we got the lands. Curious to see how this one plays. But that is all I have got for this time. I do appreciate y'all watching. I realize it's been a couple of days since I have posted. I do apologize. I've been a little busy here of late, what with new job and all. But I appreciate you watching. And as always, to be sure to subscribe at the bottom, like, share it, tell everybody about it. And thank you for watching. But right now, it's time to shuffle and cut.